Good morning, 10th class students. So, in the yesterday's class, we have learned about the modern periodic table, which was proposed by Moseley, and we have learned about the actinoids and lanthanoids. The 4F series elements are called as lanthanoids, 5F series elements are called as actinoids. And what are the trends in the periodic properties? Those are valency, atomic radius, ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, and metallic and non-metallic properties. So first, valency is nothing but it is the combining power of an atom with other atom through hydrogen or oxygen. So here along the groups it will be same from top to bottom as we go along the group. And when we see the periods 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 0, like this it will change. Now, atomic radius is nothing but the distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell. This is called as atomic radius. It is also called as metallic radius or covalent radius. It is measured in terms of picometers. 1 picometer is equal to 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. So, in the groups, the atomic radius will increase because there is an increase of shell. And along the periods it will decreases because the electron will enter into the same shell. Now let's see today's topic. This is ionization energy. Ionization energy is nothing but it is the energy that is required to remove an electron from the outermost shell of an electron, so of a atom. So that atom also should not be react with any other. It means it is a neutral gaseous atom. Understand? So for example, when you consider sodium, atomic number 11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So in the valency shell, how many electrons are there? Only one electron. Okay, the energy required to remove this electron from the outermost shell of a neutral gaseous atom is called as ionization energy. Okay, so when you consider magnesium, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, second shell. Next 3s2. Here 2 electrons are there. If you remove these 2 electrons, it will get a stable configuration which is equal to neon. Okay, first that you have to remove this electron, right? So the energy required to remove the electron from the valency shell, first electron you are removing. So it is called as first ionization energy. After that, so when you remove an electron, it will get a positive charge. So it is a uni-positive ion. Only one positive charge is there. So uni-positive ion. After that, when you remove the second electron, then it will get stability. Its configuration will equal to neon's configuration. So the energy required to remove the second electron, from the uni-positive ion is called as second ionization energy. Generally, the second ionization energy will be greater than first ionization energy. You know why? When we remove first electron, the nucleus will be alert, right? So its charge will increases because there is a electron decreased, so the nuclear charge will increase. Now it is very high amount of energy you should apply to remove the second electron. For example, in our class, okay, so we have 12 number of students. Okay, so very with a lot of efforts, one student have escaped from my class. Okay, so for that you will apply some energy, right? So that is what? First ionization energy. Now actually you people have booked to go for a movie, so second person also you need. So now you have to tell lot of stories to escape another student. So for that you need more amount of energy, right or not? Simply it's a common thing. Okay, so the ionization energy is nothing but energy required to remove an electron from the outermost shell of a neutral gaseous atom. To remove the first electron, that is called as first ionization energy. To remove second electron from unipositive ion, that is called as second ionization energy. Now to remove the third electron, that is third ionization potential, like that. Okay, this is a metal, normally an atom. Okay, you are supplying some energy, then our electron removed, unipositive ion. Now again you have applied some amount of energy to the unipositive ion to remove an electron. This is ionization energy, second ionization energy. Now let's see what are the factors that affects the ionization energy. So here ionization energy is also called as ionization potential. So generally potential, energy, those are the synonyms, the caliber to remove the electron. So that's why we have used the word ionization potential. Now these are the factors: nuclear charge, screening effect or shielding effect, penetration power of the orbitals, stable configuration, atomic radius. So these 5 are the factors. This is very important 4 marks question. From this chapter, Mendeleev's periodic table, Moseley periodic table, ionization potential. These 3 will come for 4 marks. Now let's see nuclear charge. If nuclear charge is more, then easy to remove an electron or hard to remove the electron? Definitely hard, right or not? If, for example, the teacher's attention is more, then escaping a student is difficult. If teacher's attention is less, then very easy, right or not? So if nuclear charge is more, then more ionization energy is needed. Here, for example, sodium 11, chlorine 17. These are their atomic numbers. Okay, so here for chlorine 281. This is its electronic configuration. And for chlorine 287. This is the electronic configuration. So here, if we remove this one electron, it will be stable and its configuration will be equal to neon. Now coming to here, if it gains one electron, then it will be stable, its configuration will be equal to argon, right? So sodium will try to remove this electron and chlorine try to get an electron. So out of sodium and chlorine, the nuclear charge will be more in chlorine only. Okay, so because the chlorine want an electron. Now if you want to remove the electron from chlorine, okay, you want to remove the electron from chlorine, then you have to apply lot of energy. But for the sodium, it is very easily you can remove. Okay, here the chlorine is having 7 electrons, so it is very highly difficult task to remove an electron from the valency shell of the chlorine. So out of sodium and chlorine, the chlorine will have more ionization energy. Okay, now, so more the nuclear charge, more the ionization energy. Now, screening effect or shielding effect. Screening effect or shielding effect is nothing but, here, this is the nucleus, these are the orbits or shells. Okay, so here if number of orbits are more, number of shells are more from the nucleus, and all these shells are having electrons also. Okay, then what will happen? Here each shell, these shells are increasing. So what will happen? So then what will happen? These shells will act as screens, opticals for the nuclear charge to the valency electron. So this is called as screening effect. Here more shell with the electrons, more the shell with electrons between nucleus and the valence shell, they act as screens and decrease the nuclear attraction over valency electron. This is called as screening effect. For example, in our class we have lot of benches with so many number of students, right? Then the teacher's attention maybe decreases towards the last bench student, right or not? Because the number of benches are increasing with the students, so these will act as the screens to the teacher towards the attraction over the last student. Like this only, if more number of shells with the electrons between nucleus and the valency shell, the shells will act as screens and decrease nuclear attraction over valency electron. So this is called as screening effect. If more shells are there, then it is very easy to remove the electron because the nuclear charge will be less, right? So more the screening effect, less the ionization energy. So here when you see lithium 3, cesium 55, so this is atomic number. Okay, so here only 2 shells will be here, but here so many shells. So it is very easy to remove the valency electron from the cesium because there are so many number of shells. That is the reason. Now penetration power. Here penetration power is nothing but when you consider a shell, for example second shell. Second shell means how many orbitals will come? 2s, 2p. Now third shell means 3s, 3p, 3d. If it is fourth shell, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. Okay, so generally how the orbitals will arrange? First s orbital, next p, d, f. So here this f orbital will be the valency shell, right or not? Here this is, actually this is same shell, but it is easy to remove an electron from the f orbital rather than s orbital because s orbital will be close to nucleus. This will be far from the nucleus. Even though they are belongs to same shell, you have to supply more amount of energy to remove an electron from s orbital than f orbital. So that is what penetration power. Okay, so here when you see beryllium and boron, okay, beryllium and boron. Beryllium atomic number 4. So what is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2. Boron atomic number 5. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. 2s2, 2s2, 2p1. So for both the elements, the valency shell is second shell only. But here it is easy to remove the electron from 2p, not 2s2. So here more amount of energy will be required for beryllium, not for boron. Even though these both belongs to same shell, you have to apply more amount of energy for beryllium. This is what penetration power. Okay, orbitals belonging to same main shell have different piercing power towards the nucleus. This is important. Next one, stable configuration. Here, no, generally how the atoms will be stable, if any atom which is having half-filled electrons or full-filled electrons, it means the orbitals. The orbital which possess half-filled or full-filled electrons, it will get stable. When we consider oxygen or nitrogen, so here for oxygen, 8 is the atomic number, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So here when you see the 2p4 configuration, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for nitrogen 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So it is half filled. So to remove the electron from the nitrogen, you have to supply more amount of energy. than oxygen. Okay, so that is what? Stable configuration. And atomic radius. So as we know, atomic radius means the distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell. If atomic radius is more, for example, when we consider the first group, so what is that? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Rubidium, so last valence shell, that is 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s. So as the shell increasing, atomic radius is also increasing. Then here for francium, to remove the electron for francium, it is very easy. Right. So when atomic radius is increasing, the ionization potential will decreases. This is so important. And along the groups, ionization energy decreases. Along the periods, ionization energy increases. Okay, because along the groups the atomic radius is increasing, so ionization energy decreases. Along the periods the electron enters to same shell, so ionization energy increases. Now for units, kilojoule per mole. If we are measuring, if we are saying in terms of ionization potential, then its units will be electron volt per atom. Okay, units for ionization potential, kilojoule per mole or electron volt per atom. Thank you.